step through, but that lead way back, way before the last ice age had ended. But you find also this right here, which some of the artists seem to date around 10,000 years ago, and then it comes from leading into that. And of course, the Sahara was quite green at one time. We'll look at a few of these pictures in depth here, but here's just some of the art. Now, it's also known as Cave of the Swimmers, and because it has effects like that, here we see two people swimming, right? No real indication if that's male or female, but they're swimming, but they're also swimming next to a big old fish. And we'll take a look at that here in a minute. But also there's some other art where it just shows hunting, even arrows being stuck into deer or antelope type creatures. Some with some young around, because there's got to be younger and smaller and so on. But then there's also this ancient depiction here where these people who have sticks and spears and apparently a bow, their bottom area is a fish bottom. That's a fish tail that's on there. And these are some of the most ancient that are in there also. So this depiction goes back reliably over 7,000 years ago to 9 to 10,000 years ago. And here's some more of that depiction that we just saw, and that was more of a close-up perhaps of this area, but you see these people following behind this giant fish, which I tell you is a depiction of a whale. And then here also we're seeing another person up here that is a mer person in that classical mer pose with a fishing apparatus or a catching hook. These are following the whale. These are grabbing a hold of the whale's tail, and there's a youngster clutching to his back, helping to take a ride. Is this a correct interpretation of what we're seeing here? Here's something that looks very much like a shark, or one would probably say maybe a swordfish, right? That type of thing, or even perhaps a dolphin. And I would agree probably with the latter more, because they seem to be swimming in tandem with each other. But here's also another warrior, if you will, with a spearish type apparatus, and another warrior with a spearish apparatus. And they all have this Lancelot tail that certain fish will have, where it actually, instead of having the V in, will actually have a point all the way around, right? And in this depiction, you can start to see it, but we'll look at a farther out shot, but I guess I want to show you. Here they are clinging onto the tail of this whale, but here's another whale that's down here. And there's some depictions that are, most of it's all done in that classic red ochre, but some of the depictions here are done in white and yellow ochre. And so now we're looking at more of a close-up of those two again swimming, and there's a third that's very big that you can see, but more in the red area that's helped to crack away. So you can tell this is something that's been done primordially. A lot of this has gotten ruined though, because this cave was actually mentioned in The English Patient, the movie, and people started going out there, and now they've ruined a lot of it, so they've helped to try to quarantine it off, and in doing so you can't get as close as you used to, because you used to be able to just walk right up into it. But quite revealing here, and let's see if I can zoom in on this a little better to give you some depictions of what's going on. Looking down here more bottom left, it definitely looks like there are people that do have legs and they have spears, and then there are people that have fish legs and they're dolphins, and it kind of looks like these two are attacking this dolphin thing. And so now we have inland sea dolphins that are coming up all the way into this area, and you can see these people diving, right? And again, there's a whale and there's a white whale. So we have the first depiction of like Moby Dick, and that concept really, I mean, I'm serious when I say that. Is that a white whale? Because they could have drawn it dark just like that one. What is this? It's a white whale. Well, there's a white drawn person up here and a couple of yellow figurines in the whole cave. There's more to this though. Here's those two guys with the dolphin. Over here you see these ladies legged, not swimming. Up here you see more of them, right? And these figures with somebody that's out on the water. It almost looks like they've drawn a few waves around him, if you will, and he's standing up in the water like on his tail, like a fish. Here's another one, and it looks like he's got fish. There's a fish. Is he giving it to the women? I don't know. A man and a fish. But then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines. Did he catch 5 fish and everything was fantastic? I don't know. You can go that simplistic with it. Some of this is just strange, and it's connective art. Where in this whole area, you can see these people, they're doing these praises, and these men, then they're going to go to fish, and then they go to fish, they do this little praying type thing, and then here they are in the water hunting too. Are they harpoon fishing fish that are in these shallow pools? Well, this area is kind of neat to look at, but let's back up on this. And here's other depictions where people appear to be diving in and swimming. Hopefully make that out a whole lot better than that, but than it looks on here, hopefully. Yeah, okay, I was just a little bit more of an angle, but you can see families holding hands and stuff, and there's groups in this. I'll show this in another deal that won't be about mermaids. It'll be about the Egyptian art that's out here and what to do with the green oasis. 7 Phoenician 7 finally got a hold of the genetic data that goes with the green Sahara people here and put it out, and it kind of triggered me into doing this, as I said. So we're gonna look at that and do another video off of it. Here they are all swimming, or they're floating down. Some people have symbolically said this is like swimming in the waters of Nun, that this is them swimming in a cosmic ocean. But in the pictures and the way that it works together as a group, I don't really agree with that idea and concept of it, but I think it's quite neat here. Here we have the cave of the Saharan mermaids, and they have found a whale, not out at this point here, but not too far from here, and it's quite inland from the inland sea. And I've made comments on that before, that either a whale made an incredibly bad mistake when there was a time when you could come all the way in, or something strange is afoot, like it had gotten washed inland from some great catastrophe type thing. When they dated it back, it seems to date to an elder time. There's other whales found like way up in the Atacama Desert and things too that just don't correlate with, like, makes you go, what? You know, and land can't push up that soon, that early, or if we have something happen, great cataclysmic, that nobody has a remembrance of, because we're all kind of under this amnesia type thing. But yeah, ancient mermaids. And how far does it go back? I don't know. Ancient tales of Ulysses and Odysseus and the people and sirens and things, but it goes back perhaps much farther than that. And here we have a depiction of ancient cave art and people swimming with whales. What's odd about this is you don't see any of this alligators that are known to be in this area. Nile crocodiles. I mean to say alligators, more American, but you don't see that really. And strangely enough, you can find depictions of this cave of the swimmers, as I'm talking about, and you'll see them doing this thing where they're diving, and looks like they're doing this long dive. And I don't know if you've ever seen the Egyptian photographs of the lady that's a diver. She's got long hair, looks like Cher, like Sonny and Cher back in the day, doing this big swan dive thing into the water, and it looks very much like this, drawn a whole lot better than this, but drawn very much like that. So yeah, I'll show you more about this cave system and the cave of the swimmers in an upcoming one, and a lot of the art that's in it and so on. But in this cave of the swimmers, where it actually is a lot of the art's tucked up in places like this, and it's put up in, you can see it up here in the edges of art, and they know where the ancient water level used to get, and out there from it. Let's see if I can show a distance shot for you in any way in some of these. Well, like in this one, all this would be underwater, and there are places, sure, that get 30 and 40 foot underwater, but the rest of it might be 10, 15 foot, and it depends on how flooded it was. There's a distance shot I know that I saw earlier. Here's people looking and working on it. Here's a shot from kind of in it looking back out. And so this whole area here used to be flooded in. and that would have been a beach right there, and you could swim all the way over here, and this would get up to very thin, and then there was this special little cave that you could get into. And one of the neater depictions is all these people swimming around, and then somebody had done one of these hand figurines, one of those spit hands, if you will, that you find from all the way back in Cro-Magnon and ancient places that show you a connection too, that kind of show you connections. Hopefully in a lot of this ancient cave art, I'm showing you connections that work together in a lot of ways. But Cave of the Swimmers, but again, what we've been looking at is more like ancient mermaids, if you will, right? Anyhow, guys, like, share, and subscribe, and enjoy. Lots more to come. And again, there's going to be another one on the reveal of the Green Sahara project. Pretty much a follow-up from the original coming up here shortly, in the middle of about 12 other vids that I've got going. Peace.